Too hot for TV.
Well, welcome everybody. It's that time of year. It's a Doctor Who Christmas special. I'm your host Dylan.
I'm Jack.
And we are Doctor Who Too Hot for TV.
Too cold for TV.
Yes, indeed. So here we are. We're going to be looking at some very exciting Doctor Who stories from the beginning of Doctor Who itself. All of them with a bit of a Christmassy hint. Before that, news. Doctor Who's back on New Year's Day.
Yep.
Excited?
It looks good.
It does look good. The time as children feels like it was about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
It was March.
I know. Captain Jack's back.
Captain Jack is back again.
The Daleks are back.
New Daleks. How do you feel about new Daleks?
They look good from some angles and not so good from others. But ultimately, as long as they blow stuff up, it's fine.
Yeah. I didn't like the look of them in the pictures, but the trailer, I thought they looked quite good.
Mm.
But, you know, I'm excited to see Doctor Who back. And then there'll be another series of Doctor Who next year.
Really?
Isn't that weird?
No,
it's not going to happen. Other news, the unofficial Doctor Who Annual 1989 has come out, which we're all very excited about. This is a 209-page Christmas annual from Terraqueous Distributors. It's a fan production, but it's just so you can finally fill in those gaps for your Doctor Who annual. They've done some Six Doctor ones, but it features stories from people such as Alistair Pearson, Dominic Glynn, who wrote the theme tune, Jessica Martin, who played Mags in in The Greatest Show in the Galaxy, Mike Tucker, Andrew Scaletta, and Stephen Wyatt, who wrote The Greatest Show in the Galaxy. So I've got it on my shelf. Probably never read it, but I got it. Have you seen any of the Daleks animated series yet?
I had a brief look at it, but I'm not the target audience.
You are not the target audience. Well, I'm not either, but I still bloody watched it because I'm a Doctor Who fan and it's my duty. It actually picks up quite a lot and you get shitloads of mechanoids.
Yeah.
So I'm sold. It's kind of found its feet a bit more from its first episode, which was a little bit all over the place, I thought. Big Finish news. Do you know about this new David Tennant box set? Not the one with the Daleks.
No.
There's another one. This sounds like a skit. This sounds like something we've made up for the podcast, but it's true. Due for release in September 2022, David Tennant stars in 3 full cast audios recorded during the lockdown. First story, Splinters by John Dorney. The Doctor finds K9 floating in space and sets off to clear up Time War fallout. First, they find Leela protecting a village in Spriggan. Then the Stuntman. The Doctor and K9 enter a virtual world of a movie stuntman to help Nyssa escape a Time War criminal's scheme. And Quantum of Axos, Ace investigates a new tech company which seems too good to be true and meets the Doctor and K9 as Axos escapes its trap. That is really just like slamming things together now.
I can kind of see where they've come from because we know that the Sarah Jane Adventures wanted to bring back more old companions.
Mm.
And Rusty Davies did consider bringing back K9 as a companion, so you can kind of see it.
You can. It just, I mean,
it's just cut and stick Doctor Who, isn't it? It's just they must have a big, just like a pinboard full of like character faces, and they're just like, these have never been together. Yeah, put them box set for every possible combination. The Rubik's Cube of Doctor Who will align. Every Doctor and every companion will have had adventures together. And then time will unravel.
It's that board in Day of the Doctor where you've got like Sarah Kingdom and Mike Yates in a photo together and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like Dodo and Captain Jack. 5 box sets.
In other audio news, this not Big Finish related, Cutaway Comics, who came on to talk about Lytton and are doing their Omega series, they're doing an Omega audio with Brian Blessed as Omega, which I think is possibly the greatest bit of casting ever. So I'm looking forward to that. And that's kind of all the extended universe news for the moment.
Doctor Who, The End of the Beginning by Big Finish.
Oh, yes, of course.
That I mention this because it's the only title that makes me go, what the hell is that? I want to, that intrigues me because it's almost like a season finale for all of Big Finish up until now before they cancel they end the main range.
Yeah, it's interesting. So it features the 4 Doctors that were part of the main range, which was 5, 6, 7 and 8.
Yeah.
But I believe, I could be wrong, the 7th Doctor, there's like an alternative 7th Doctor in it.
Well, it's billed as a 3-Doctor story, but it's got 4 of them in there, and Sylvester McCoy's in Shadow. So either he is the villain in some kind of weird, messed up timeline, or it might be an alternate 7th Doctor. but it's intriguing.
The most intriguing thing they've done is take Paul McGann's movie hair and put it on his current face.
I know, he looks like a shagged out. Who's that woman from Terminator 2?
Sarah Connor.
Yeah, he looks like her, but now
Linda Hamilton.
He looks like Linda Hamilton, but now.
Wow. I don't know who would be more insulted by that. So, let's talk Christmas, Jack.
Yeah.
It's Christmas time. Getting your Doctor Who gifts. All very exciting. Can you remember the first present that was Doctor Who related that you got for Christmas?
Oh. No.
Interesting.
No, because I feel like my life was just scattered with Doctor Who gifts, and Christmas was a time to not have Doctor Who things. So it was like, here's an action man, you freak. Fucking play with something a normal child will play with.
The first Christmas gifts that I remember getting Doctor Who related were a question mark pullover from Dapol, which was classically the wrong colour, and then the Genesis of the Daleks and Sontaran Experiment double pack on VHS from our Uncle Kev. I also remember for a few years in my teenage years, and I was not a normal teenager, just getting loads and loads of Mythmakers for Christmas and spending Christmas Day like watching interviews with Derek Sherwin and, and people like that. It's just like, what an odd child.
This is the genesis of Dylan.
Of this podcast, essentially. I was just trying to think back to Doctor Who festive gifts. And I remember I used to get all the box sets of the VHSs at Christmas. There'd always be a tin.
Yes.
Like the Master.
Yeah.
Or there was like a First Doctor one.
Videos in a tin. Just dwell on that phrase. Oh, tin videos. Fantastic.
How do we add an extra £10 to the cost of this VHS?
Yeah.
Put it in a biscuit tin. And do you remember, I don't know whether you've still got yours, but I've got mine. Our Uncle Kev, second name drop in this podcast, shout outs to Kev, made us these little
play sets. Yeah. I know. It was like a wooden tray with it was a miniature landscape with like ground and like bushes, and there was a TARDIS, and there was some Daleks and Cybermen like having a battle.
Yeah.
It was bloody great.
It was great stuff. The best present I've ever had. We've talked a lot about the Christmas specials on this podcast, I think, and indeed when we went on the Time Lash.
Yes.
And we've been quite down on them. So we're not going to go too much into the Doctor Who Christmas specials, but say something positive about Doctor Who Christmas specials.
Well, there's a load of them that I think are great. And also, the Christmas Invasion was one of the most exciting things ever. You had a full first series of new Doctor Who, end on a regeneration, and then it has a massive big Christmas Day story. It was bloody great. With
a new Doctor and a random made-up generic villain.
Yeah. But no, I loved that. And there's loads of other ones that I think are good, like A Christmas Carol. Last Christmas still surprises me as to how good it is.
It shouldn't be, should it?
No, it's just...
If you list what's in it, it should be shit.
Yeah. There is something Christmassy about Doctor Who. I don't know, it's odd to say that, but it is. And also, Twice Upon a Time, I really enjoyed that, because I don't know what it is, but there's something Christmassy about William Hartnell.
Yeah, there is. And I don't know whether it's because we associate him with turning to the camera and going, a Merry Christmas to all of you at home. Or, you know, I guess black and white footage is kind of associated with Christmas, because it's the only time you'll really see... If you turn on terrestrial television, the only time you'll ever see a black and white film is at Christmas. Yeah. They would never show anything black and white the rest of the time. Yeah. But they'll pull something out that's black and white at Christmas.
It's because winter is dark and snow is white. Black and white.
I see what you've done there.
I think there's a race memory in there. I think it hits something. But also, the first Doctor, we'll probably go into this with the stories, but the first Doctor is from an archetype of older wizard-type figures that all kind of do come back from Santa Claus.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
And before Santa Claus, God.
And like you were saying, I think there is something fundamentally Christmassy about Doctor Who. Yeah. And I think you could take most Doctor Who stories and inject some Christmas, and actually it wouldn't change too much. Yeah. Like, I think that would work. So what's your favourite Christmas story? You got to pick one.
Ooh. I will say The Christmas Invasion, just because it is great. I don't care how thin the plot might be. It's really British, it's really Doctor Who, and it's really fun and really funny, and it's the introduction for one of the best Doctors.
Yeah, I would go A Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
That is my favourite. I just find it very magical and touching, despite it being a recycled story. But that's what Doctor Who does best.
Yeah. I would the most magical Christmassy moment for me is the end of The Doctor Falls. The first Doctor appears in the snow. I mean, it's just it's insane that ever happened and was made and broadcast on the BBC. But everything, the way it's shot and the music, it's just brilliant.
And you're just like, well, I want Christmas Day, and I want it right now, and I want to see the first Doctor. I want to see these two old men roaming around a battlefield.
Yeah, for a week, a fortnight afterwards, I just was wandering around going, no, I don't think so.
One of my favourite things to do when I'm a bit drunk is to go on YouTube and watch people reacting to that clip. It's great. Now, as much as we might be a little bit cynical about Doctor Who Christmas specials, now we don't have them. I do kind of miss them.
Oh yeah, same here.
I miss how they used to tear our family apart on Christmas Day.
This is an award-winning play that our family's relationship with Doctor Who on Christmas Day. It's ridiculous.
For those that don't know, I mean, there's no reason why you should. It's not public knowledge. Our parents are divorced. And so we usually spend Christmas jumping between their two houses, which are about 15 minutes away from them. But Christmas Day is our mum's birthday, and our dad likes Doctor Who. So there's always this mad rush to finish Christmas dinner and get to Dad's in order to not disappoint him and watch the Christmas special with him that pisses off our other brother and sister to no end.
And over the years, it gradually got broadcasted earlier and earlier. It was just torture. When Ross had just been like, I fucking hate Doctor Who and what it's doing to our family.
So we don't have that pressure now, do we? Which is great.
Too hot for TV.
Everything we're doing in this episode is from 1965, which is kind of the first big year of Doctor Who merchandise. Like, you do get bits of it before. There's like an annual type thing, a couple of Dalek books, some badges, some cards and the sheet music. But it's 1965, you get chocolate bars, toilet soap, Dalek toys, Dalek jelly babies, jigsaws, bags, books, play sets, and all the things that we're covering here. The Dalek Chronicles, the comic books, had launched, and The Curse of the Daleks, as the stage play, had just come out. And I didn't realise this. The Curse of the Daleks doesn't feature the Doctor. It just features the Daleks.
Yeah, and some Thals.
And it was written by David Whittaker and Terry Nation. And it appeared for 1 month at the Wyndham Theatre in London, beginning the 21st of December, 1965.
Yeah.
Imagine going along to that.
Well, I imagine that's when they're beginning to think this could make its own TV show.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of that long-winded thing of Terry Nation trying to get it off the ground. And it launched not long after Mission to the Unknown had been done that year.
Yeah.
And Big Finish in 2008 turned it into an audio drama, which I've never listened to.
Yeah.
Probably never will. The TV series on that year ran from The Powerful Enemy, the episode of The Rescue, right up to The Feast of Stephen. Doctor Who is like a mainstay of television by this point.
Yeah.
It was getting like big audience numbers.
I really like The Feast of Stephen.
Do you?
I think it's a really funny, silly episode.
It is. I like it too. What do you think of this era of Doctor Who in general?
I like it. I like it from the existing stories. I like all of William Hartnell's era up until probably about Dodo joins. Then It kind of goes a bit downhill.
Interesting. See, I really dislike Susan.
Yeah.
I don't like the character. I don't like how whiny and screamy she is. So when Vicky comes along, I much prefer Vicky and Ian and Barbara, and then Vicky and Stephen. I think they're the best. My favourite First Doctor TARDIS team.
Too hot for TV.
The Doctor lands on Vortis and dons his atmospheric density jacket. Upon leaving the TARDIS, he is hypnotised and captured by the Menoptera. They tell the Doctor they have saved him from the Zarbi for their own purposes. Believing the Doctor to be part of another group of Earthmen, they intend to dissect him to discover more about them, but not before they recount the story of the Zarbi and their queen waging war against the peaceful Menoptera. The Doctor wakes up on an operating table As he is about to be dissected, he breaks free from the web that holds him. As he escapes, an 8-foot man with red hair and silver clothing appears and aids his escape, shooting at the Menoptera. The giant is called Axetail. The doctor tells him he is knackered, so Axetail takes him back to the spaceship where there are 7 other similar giants. The captain of Axetail's people think the doctor is an insect. To prove he is not, Axetail strips the doctor naked. Upon seeing Billy's Willy, the captain believes him. Yeah. Upon seeing Billy's Willy, the captain believes him and tells him to put his kit back on and explains they are common soldiers but must always be on their guard. When the doctor tells him he is a traveller in space and time, the captain sees his ticket off the planet. The giants reveal they are from the mighty world city of Atlantis on a mission to colonize the universe, but their locator instruments are broken and their scientists died of a plague. They have been on Vortis for a year and don't even know the Menoptera's name. They just shoot on sight. They ask the doctor to come into their ship to look at the locator instruments. The doctor agrees, but asks to eat, drink and sleep first. The doctor has a kip and dreams of Atlantis destroying itself due to the bloodthirsty giants. He then dreams of Vortis, of the gentle Menoptera and the oppressed Zarbi. Upon waking, he realises these soldiers have been away from Earth for thousands of years, so should he take them to the present-day Earth, their bloodthirsty nature will mean the extermination of the human race. It takes the Doctor 3 days before he finds the instruments he was looking for in their ship. He decides that he cannot let them loose on the universe. The Doctor says he can't fix them without items from the TARDIS. 4 of the giants melt their way through some rock and escort the Doctor to his ship. Upon seeing the TARDIS, the captain thinks they've been tricked and orders the Doctor's death. The Doctor runs and realises they are in the middle of a battle between the Zarbi and the Menoptera. As the Doctor reaches the ship, the Zarbi overpower the men. The Doctor realises that the Menoptera are the most worthy race on Vortis, and fate would see the Atlanteans taken care of.
Too hot for TV.
I have to say, I wasn't expecting such a convoluted yet shit plot.
Yeah.
Like, as a short story, I thought it would be a lot less complicated than it is.
Yeah.
And it's like it has to put a weird, strange reason behind all of the logic presented in it. It kind of reminds me of early Star Trek when you're just like, this is a bit bonkers.
At certain points I thought either English isn't the first language of the author or they've got some kind of cognitive... It's like Joe Biden wrote a short story.
It's very odd.
And it's also, it is relatively simple, but it's just padded out with lots of convoluted 60s prose.
Sci-fi explanations.
Yeah, and just, it can't say anything simply.
Yeah, it can't. It just meanders around a lot, and it's like the author's been told he's got 10 pages to write the story, and he thinks he's writing a novel to start with, so he starts off with quite slow, and then by the time he gets to the end, he's like, fuck, I've only got a page left, I need to rush this. They
obviously gave him, they said, come in, sit down and watch the web. No, they probably gave him the script to the web planet, a shilling. And said, fucking do one.
And some tobacco for his pipe.
Yeah, a bit of snuff.
Well, actually, so this was released in September of 1965. It sold 200,000 copies.
Wow.
200,000 people probably read this story. Now, I didn't know who wrote it, so I reached out on Twitter, and there is evidence that points towards someone called Joe L. Morrissey, but we don't know for certain that it was him. But he was a staff writer there, and he wrote the previous book, The Doctor Who Invaders from Space, which was an annual, but like one long story. But he contributed to a lot of the early annuals, but no one knows for certain who wrote them.
Oh, it's up there with Who Shot JFK.
It's not a sequel to The Web Planet, though. The Doctor's never been there before. So they just take they take some ideas from the TV series and go, we'll have them, but we're not going to make out like the Doctor has actually been here before. It's just a new story on the Web Planet.
So the Doctor's never met them before, the Zarbi and the Menoptera. He's never met them in the Web Planet.
Yeah.
And also he's just travelling alone with no explanation. Yeah.
Not only is he travelling alone, he's not sure whether he's human or not.
Yes.
Which is very odd. I mean, the Doctor says he's from Earth at one point. The Menoptera obviously think he's from Earth because humanoid, blah, blah, blah. He says, I'm a scientist, a traveller in space and the galaxy known as the Milky Way. And he says he left Earth 50 years ago. However, there's an asterisk that said, Doctor Who is prevaricating because, of course, he did not come from Earth.
Which is the editor looking at the story and thinking, oh, fuck. It's obviously not a part of the plot. It's the editor's gone in and said, of course, the Doctor's lying here. Because he says he's from, what, the Earth Council or something?
Something like that.
Yeah. Load of nonsense, isn't it?
It is a load of nonsense. And I would love to say it's good nonsense and that, I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it's not very good, is it?
No. But it's you know, it's not without some weird shit in it.
Yeah, I mean, we need to talk about the big thing. These giants, who are from Earth also...
Giant ginger giants.
Yeah, who've got red hair and radiate radiation for some reason.
And they're like twice the size of the Doctor.
But they can't tell the difference between the Doctor and the Menoptera and the Zarbi.
Yeah.
So they have to take his clothes off. They strip Doctor Who naked.
I've got the quote here. This creature is a man, as we are. True, he is small, tiny even, but he is a man, and no insect. I will prove it to you. Look. And to Doctor Who's fury, he began to tear the clothes off of his back. And so powerful was the giant that the Doctor's struggles were quite useless, and in spite of his angry protests and violent struggles, he soon found himself standing naked amongst the giants.
I mean, it's not for Christmas. It's like a late-night episode of Hollyoaks. It's just bonkers. The way the Doctor solves the issue by basically having a nap. And that's how can you imagine any other Doctor Who story where the Doctor just went, I'm going to go have a sleep now and I'll think it out. He's obsessed with us. He keeps mentioning how tired he is.
Well, William Hartnell did used to have lots of episodes off on holiday where he was the serial napper of the Doctors because he wanted to go on holiday.
He is, I mean, yes, he is a serial nappist, if you will.
Yeah.
It's just all very odd. We also get a lot of what the Doctor's feelings in this.
Yeah, and he's really disgusted and pissed off at everyone.
I mean, one of the internal monologues that we get of the Doctor going, what the hell had he rushed into now? Which I think is the first use of the word hell in Doctor Who. And then the way they describe the Doctor as well, is that there's like a bound and motionless prisoner of 6-foot insects, alone and friendless on a horrible, hostile world. It's a very lonely image of William Hartnell.
My favourite is when it says, Doctor Who stood trembling like a small boy amongst gangsters.
Yeah, and the Doctor ran. He ran as hard as he had ever ran before. Ran as though devils were after him. What? I mean, it makes the Doctor to be a bit of a coward, which I guess is kind of in keeping with an earthly child, maybe?
Yeah, I did think that. But I also maybe they just have no idea what Doctor Who is.
Yeah. But then who does at this point? It is a disposable
What
show.
What season aired?
This was released in 1965.
Yeah.
In the September of 1965. Now, one of the most popular stories from this era that was broadcast was, of course, The Web Planet. What do you think of The Web Planet?
Was it popular or was it just milked for merchandise?
It got huge ratings. I know there wasn't a lot on, but it feels like it was popular, and it's one that sits in people's minds. Even Peter Capaldi says, like, I don't want to go back and rewatch it because I remember it being so kind of exciting and magical that he's like, I know what it will be like if I watch it again, so he just won't watch it. And I think it's full of such big ideas, and that it was heavily merchandised afterwards. That like if you're a kid of the 60s, that must kind of sit in the mind in a way that The Smugglers doesn't.
I don't want to sound patronising, but you do forget how crap the actual televisions were in the 60s.
Yeah.
And also how new television was, to the point where you would still be regularly listening to the radio as an alternative. Like, beyond the channels, you would listen to the radio. So I imagine it probably was quite striking to see giant ants and giant bee men doing their thing.
Do you think you could get away with doing this now?
The Web Planet?
Yeah.
Not at all. Not a million fucking years.
If Doctor Who met some giant bee men.
They tried to do wasp men in Planet of the Dead.
Fly men.
And
they look terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just can't do it.
This story reads as something that would have been written just as the first series was going out, and they know nothing about Doctor Who. So I'm surprised that they're up to the Feast of Stephen.
Yeah, I mean, even if it was turned around in a quick time, say a month that they wrote the whole annual in, say I don't know, in the middle of that year, there's still things like the Crusade and stuff being broadcast, and I guess you could even say it was probably written it could even have been written about the time the Web Planet was broadcast.
But there's a long history of people that draw and write for the Doctor Who annuals not having any idea what Doctor Who is.
Yeah, especially in the annuals. You go through some of those older annuals and the pictures, you're like, they've got a picture of like Tom Baker on a night out from the paper, and they just sketched it.
And it's like, who's that Cuban man smoking a cigar? It's like, oh, it's Harry Sullivan.
It's really odd. But here, it's definitely aimed at children.
Yeah.
And it's this thing that I don't think you really get anymore, where it's for children, so that'll do. Like, it has to, whereas actually people now realise that television for kids and stories for kids have to be kind of, like, they understand that they need to be as engaging as a story for adults, if that makes sense. It may not have the same themes, but, kids aren't fucking stupid. So you just get, it's a very half-arsed kind of sci-fi tale where not a lot actually happens. The Doctor's almost cut up by some Zarbi. He gets stripped naked and then he goes back to the TARDIS. Yeah. That's it.
Also, I'd just like to point out the atmospheric jackets. One of the most ridiculous inventions of Doctor Who. Like, it's a cardigan that makes you breathe.
Yeah.
It's not even.
The Doctor
oxygen fabric. And
well, no, I thought it was the jackets they wear in the Web Planet.
Yeah, no, that's what they are, but they are just silly.
They've got little metal bits on the front.
But the idea is like a full. Like, how do you need to, like, it's a breathing apparatus that you wear. It doesn't, no,
it doesn't make any sense. It's like, how does it keep the air go?
Do you sniff the jacket? Do you sniff your sleeve to be like, oh, thank God? Yeah.
I also like the idea that the Doctor goes outside of the ship at the start of the story, goes, fuck, I can't breathe, should have checked that, and then goes in and puts on his breathing cardigan.
Yes.
It's a very odd thing, but it's also quite a striking in. You're like, what the fuck's going on? Doctor Who can't breathe. What do we think of the bad guys in this? Obviously aren't the Zarbi or the Menoptera or whatever.
No, it is man.
It is these 8-foot silver dudes. Why does the Doctor think 8 of them could take over the Earth?
I don't know. They're from Atlantis, which again, another fucking Atlantis just to chuck into the Doctor Who mix as if we haven't got enough.
The world city of Atlantis.
Yeah.
I think the Doctor makes up the excuse that he thinks they're bad guys because he leaves them there to essentially die, which isn't very Doctorish. I think he's just getting them back because they humiliated him and took all his clothes off.
Yeah. If they could strip the Doctor, they can conquer the world.
It's true. And it's just this thing of how do you tell that someone is human? Got to take a look at their dick.
Yeah.
That's the only way you can tell the difference between a giant bee man and a normal sized man is what they piss with.
It's Naked Attraction, but it's 1960s Doctor Who version.
The book even says that they are the most frightful engines of destruction and slaughter that had ever been imagined. Have they seen the Daleks?
No.
Like, even the Menoptera or the Zarbi are slightly more terrifying than these guys.
Yeah. But it has got some lovely pictures.
Yes.
I would have any of these illustrations on a T-shirt.
Would you?
Yeah, I think they're really cool.
They are cool. What's really odd, though, is you get like a picture of the rocket crashing or something like that and what the Menoptera look like. The scene that would most benefit from an illustration is this huge battle they describe at the end, which is done in about a paragraph.
Yeah.
In my mind, it's like Starship Troopers. I know it's not, and I know it wouldn't have looked like that. I mean, there's a big battle in the Web Planet, which if you watch now is one of the most ridiculous things you'll ever see. Why do they not show that? That's the bit that you want to see. It describes these hordes of 8-foot ants. Yeah. It's like, no, you don't see them. But here's a picture of a rocket. I don't have too much more to say about this story.
No. Because
it's shit.
Yeah.
Anything you want to add?
This should have been lost. Like the lost episodes.
It's true. So, clanger, banger.
Clanger.
Absolute clanger.
Too hot for TV.
Doctor Who, A Christmas Story. Doctor Who and his grandchildren, John and Gillian, arrive on a strange winter planet where they meet Santa Claus. Santa has received hundreds of letters from children requesting a mysterious toy called the TARDIS. Doctor Who uses his own invention, a magic box that can replicate anything it focuses on, to mass-produce toys for Santa Claus. John and Gillian remain with Santa to sort through the presents, whilst Doctor Who returns to the TARDIS to create replica toy models of his ship. John and Gillian go in search of Doctor Who, only to find his sledge abandoned, and their grandfather under attack from a polar bear. John and Gillian use Doctor Who's magic box to shrink the beast, but are then confronted by the demon magician, who wishes to disrupt Santa's work. The demon summons a giant wall to seal off Doctor Who from his TARDIS. Using the magic box, Doctor Who enlarges a small squirrel into a giant creature which they can ride on the back of to jump over the wall. They reach the police box, with Santa having left to deliver his Christmas presents. But before they can locate the demon magician, a snowman appears and entraps John and Gillian. Doctor Who melts the snowman with his magic box. The demon magician then hides himself inside a giant snowball that avalanches its way down towards the time travellers. Doctor Who shrinks the snowball so it is small enough to fit inside a toy rocket, which they then launch into the sky, exploding into a message that wishes the TARDIS a happy journey on their way through time and space.
Too hot for TV.
Have you experienced this version of Doctor Who before?
No. They reprinted some Patrick Troughton comic strips in Doctor Who magazine a while back. Remember there was one about defeating the Cybermen with flowers?
Yeah.
Like 10th Planet Cybermen.
Mm-hmm.
I remember reading those, but I've never read any of the William Hartnell strips.
Some of the Troughton strips are the repurposed Hartnell strips, just where they've changed the illustration of the Doctor.
Right.
Which is why Troughton looks nothing like Troughton in a lot of them. But I really, really liked this.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. It's completely magical. It's from a bygone era completely. But in a weird way, I could see Matt Smith or Peter Capaldi in this story.
Yeah.
It's not too far removed from some of the Christmas specials that Stephen Moffat gave us. What are your initial thoughts on experiencing this for the first time?
It's fucking charming.
Fucking charming.
It's magical. It's like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang or Alice in Wonderland.
It's one of my favourite Christmas specials, I think.
I know.
I'm going to read this every year.
It's better than The Husbands of River Song.
Everything's better than The Husbands of River Song.
No, it's lovely, and it's got beautiful artwork. And it's just incredibly innocent and charming. It is.
It plays like the sort of thing you get in like an annual for boys in the 50s.
Yeah.
You know, because when they used to gender kids, it's like, this is a boys' annual with boys' stuff in it, like Father Christmas and giant squirrels.
Yeah.
It ran from December 1965 to January 66 in 4 parts in TV comic. The writer is unknown. So it's just a part of Doctor Who history we'll never know. The artist was Bill Mervyn, who was born in 1922 and died in December 2019. You can see him in the Stripped for Action DVD extra on one of the first Doctor DVDs. And he did lots of comics of that era. So he did Bugs Bunny, Popeye, World Cup Willie, Supercar, The Pogles, Bill and Ben, The Flower Pot Men, The Herbs, and Morph. He did all the comics for those sort of ranges. So the Doctor meets Santa, which might seem like a wild premise.
Yeah.
Even though obviously we get something similar 50 odd years later. It might seem a little bit like the show Jumping the Shark in a weird way. But in this range, he's also met the Pied Piper and the Ancient Mariner. Right. So he's kind of got form for meeting these fantasy figures. I mean, Santa doesn't really play a huge part in the story.
No.
He just he's there at the beginning, and all the kids want a toy TARDIS, which is just odd. And then he goes off and has a quarrel with the magical, what's he called?
The Demon Magician.
The Demon Magician.
Yeah.
Who's my favourite Doctor Who buddy. What do you think of the use of Santa in this?
He's good. It just looks like an old 50s advert illustration of what Santa looks like.
Yeah.
The
nose of an alcoholic.
Yeah. I like that he's moved to an alien planet because he said it was too noisy because of all of the aeroplanes in the North Pole. I don't know if planes fly over the North Pole.
No, I don't feel like whenever you're on a flight, you go, oh, we're going over the North Pole now. Classic trip over the North Pole. I mean, so you have these two icons, Doctor Who and Santa, and these comics are kind of, They're obviously more child focused, but they're more fantasy than sci-fi. Do you think Doctor Who's more fantasy than sci-fi in general?
It varies from story to story.
I think that's fair. It's kind of, again, people say, "Oh, Doctor Who can do anything it wants and jump around genres," but the main two genres it does is fantasy and sci-fi. It never quite stakes its claim as either, because some things are just very kind of fantasy and magical.
Yeah.
And then other ones, it feels like hard sci-fi.
Yeah, and sometimes it's just a sitcom.
Or just a soap opera, as like fans complained when Doctor Who came back. They're like, "Oh, it's too much like a soap opera." What soap operas are you watching?
Yeah, I never thought it was a soap opera, but there was, under Stephen Moffat, there were times where I thought, this is a sitcom. This is like a space sitcom.
Yeah, especially with Amy and Rory. Like his kind of understandings of relationships and stuff like that.
Yeah. So
the Doctor in this, he immediately looks and sounds like Hartnell. He even bumbles over his lines.
I thought that. I thought this is exactly like the first Doctor.
Like, and considering this came out at the same time as the annual, like it's interesting seeing two different writers' perspectives. Like this guy's clearly watched Doctor Who, whereas the other guy may have not. And it also feels like perhaps this guy likes Doctor Who more than the other person who wrote it, even though it's a simple story, and even though it's a little bit it's very childlike. It does feel like it's crafted with care. I
think a lot of writers always forget how friendly and silly the first Doctor was.
Yeah.
And they kind of capture that here. Sure, in An Earthly Child, he tries to smash in a bloke's head. But it's not long after that he's like climbing inside Daleks in the Space Museum, just taking the piss and having a laugh.
I think by the time you get to the Keys of Marinus, they've really nailed the character of the Doctor and realised he's not a bad guy.
Yeah.
Because he does come across like the villain in the first few episodes almost. Yeah. It's like what happens is Marco Polo happens, which is set over a long period of time, and by the end of it, they're all mates. So when they're in Keys of Marinus, they're all mates until the Reign of Terror, when someone goes, "Oh, we better have them have an argument again, just so we can get them back to Earth." But for a long time, there was kind of this public perception and fan perception that the first Doctor was a bit of a miserable old git.
Yeah,
and it's not really true.
No,
and I think part of that is Hartnell's reputation of being unhappy towards the end. And part of it's the fact that the only stories that were really out on video were An Earthly Child and the Daleks, and then the Five Doctors, where it's somebody playing an imitation of the first Doctor. How they kind of remember him as being a bit of a twat. Why not Susan and Co? Why do they invent these two grandchildren?
I don't know, but I would like to see John and Gillian with William Hartnell on TV. Is
it Gillian or Gillian?
Oh, I don't know. Gillian.
It's interesting that they chose those two like that. And do you think that's? I mean, they always say the companion's an identification point for the viewer.
Yeah.
Did the writers of this recognise that more than the TV show?
So they had child companions because it's child breeders.
Yeah. Whereas, because Susan's sort of supposed to be the identification figure, but actually we don't know this at the time, but she's a Time Lord.
Yeah, but she's a teenager.
So your characters, your identification figure in that first series is actually more Barbara.
Yeah,
because she's the one that finds the whole experience strange and underwhelming, and Ian's just very sensible and level-headed. So I feel like perhaps they chose these two grandchildren because the Doctor travels with his grandchildren. That's what he does.
Maybe the Doctor does have 3 grandchildren.
Maybe he does.
Maybe he had some adventures with John and Gillian. And he was like, he got bored of them, so he was like, I'll take the other one this season.
or he changed the timeline. He was like, these whiny little shits, fuck them.
Yeah.
And he's like, factoid fans, Gillian's trousers change colour halfway through the story. They are blue in episodes 1 and 2 and green in episodes 3 and 4.
It must have run out of ink.
Madness. There's a lot of dialogue, isn't there?
Yeah.
Which I wasn't expecting. I was expecting it to be quite simple, but it's more complicated than you think. And the Doctor invents 3D printing.
He does. That also has a heat ray to defeat snowmen and can enlarge and shrink creatures, such as making big squirrels.
It's the sonic screwdriver 10 years too early. Like the way they use that magic box in this, it's called a magic box, right?
Yeah.
is how they use the sonic screwdriver now. It's just like, what do we need to get out of this situation? Shrink a polar bear. Ride a giant squirrel.
It's interesting seeing William Hartnell mount a giant squirrel. But also, it reminded me of the Box of Delights, which has the same properties.
I completely agree. There's a lot of that to it. But it does feel very magical. And the Doctor is a wizard.
Yes,
isn't he? I always said that when people were getting mad about the Doctor's gender change, that it was a bunch of angry men getting angry about a space wizard in a box. But the Doctor is a wizard.
But I think it varies as much as dependent on whether the writer is approaching it as science fiction or fantasy.
Yeah.
The character change is dependent on that. I don't think Peter Davison, the Fifth Doctor, is a wizard.
No.
He's a bit more of a alien scientist. Tom Baker's a wizard. Capaldi's a wizard.
Yeah.
Matt Smith is trying to be a wizard.
An old wizard in a young wizard's body.
I would see Jodie Whittaker as more of this kind of scientist type figure.
Yeah.
It really varies depending on the story.
Troughton's not a wizard, is he? He's a sorcerer.
Yeah, he's a sorcerer.
Same as McCoy.
Yeah.
More devious.
What the fuck's the Sixth Doctor?
A woman beater.
Paul McGann, I guess a wizard.
Generic Hollywood wizard.
Yes, yeah.
I like the way that they treat the character of the Doctor in this. Like you were saying about Box of Delights, I could see this on BBC One in the 80s, weirdly.
Yes.
Like in a very Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe or Box of Delights sort of production.
Yeah.
Clangs or bangs?
Banger.
It's an absolute banger. And I'm happy that it signs off with this message. Happy journey to TARDIS.
Too hot for TV.
It's Christmas, Jack. As well you know.
Yeah.
And what is Christmas Day without fun and games?
Yeah.
So,
okay,
we've got Doctor Who, the Christmas quiz, right now. 10 questions for you to answer. Let's test your Doctor Who festive knowledge.
Shit.
In the Christmas Invasion, what change is made to the theme tune from the previous series?
They had the middle eight.
Yes, well done. Why did Donna miss Christmas Day during the Sycorax invasion of Earth? Was she A, scuba diving, B, hungover, or C, watching Star Trek?
Hungover?
She was hungover, well done. In The End of Time Part 1, what does the Doctor say he named a galaxy?
Elizabeth?
No, it was Alison, I'm afraid. In The Doctor, the Widow and the Wardrobe, which actor who previously played the Doctor appears in the episode?
What? Another Doctor appears in it? No.
Not as the Doctor.
No one?
Arabella Ware. In The Time of the Doctor, how many years has the 11th Doctor lived through? 900, 9,000 or 9 million?
900.
That is correct. Well done. Which Hollywood actor was originally approached to play Mr. Copper in Voyage of the Damned?
Oh, was it Brian Cox?
No, it was Dennis Hopper. Which Christmas special features the longest pre-credit sequence in the show's entire history? The End of Time Part 1, The Runaway Bride, or The Return of Dr. Mysterio?
The Return of Dr. Mysterio.
It does. It has a pre-credit sequence that lasts 9 minutes.
Wow.
In Twice Upon a Time, how many episodes ago is the 10th planet? 712, 706 or 709?
712?
It's 709, I'm afraid. Which 70s companion was almost written into Last Christmas?
Sarah Jane?
No. How many people watched The Next Doctor on UK TV? Was it 9.8 million, 3.1 million, 13.1 million, or 11.6 million?
11.6.
It was 13.1. So, at the end of that, Jack, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 10. You are not a very festive Doctor Who fan.
Ho, ho, ho.
Too hot for TV.
The Doctor Who Give a Show Projector.
Yeah.
I can't give a summation of the plot to this because there isn't really plots.
No.
I mean, there are, but they're very, very small.
It's like an advent calendar of stories. What are they? 6 frames per story.
Yeah.
So 6 pictures that tell individual stories.
Yeah, it's a challenge to make them work. I guess before we talk about this, we should say the Give a Show Projector was released in 65 I imagine around Christmas, but the actual release date's unknown, by the Chad Valley Company Limited. And it's something you project on your wall, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's got little illustrations that make up, as you say, 6 frames that make up a Doctor Who story.
Yeah.
I thought that this was an adaptation of the Web Planet for years, but actually it's not.
No.
It's just like 10 individual or 12 individual little stories.
Chad Valley's in the Midlands, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It's from where we're from.
Yeah, this is why we're covering it. It's regional loyalty.
It's the Birmingham agenda.
But they released them for loads of other franchises.
Yeah, it wasn't just Doctor Who. But, I mean, they really have got Doctor Who down to a T, in the sense that they arrive in the TARDIS, some peril happens, and then they fuck off again in the TARDIS.
Yeah.
They're really cutting out the middleman there. But it's essentially like each frame has almost got to be an episode.
Yes.
In the kind of classic run. And Doctor Who, he's a very pink old man, isn't he?
Yes.
He's so pink. And you get some of his classic catchphrases, including, "Quick, under this button, saved from the Daleks by a cat." And, "Quick, move to another age," which is a bit of a kind of U-tree comment. He also genders a Dalek by calling it a he, when we all know it's Dalek, they.
Hey.
Sorry. But you don't often get Daleks gendered, do you?
Well, they're covered in tits. Many
It's true.
multiple tits.
Are they tits or are they balls? The stories are interesting. Any particular favourites?
My favourite one is where they just explain how the TARDIS works.
Yes.
But also because the Doctor shows a blueprint of what the TARDIS looks like, and the TARDIS is only as big as the control room. And I think that that's true. Like, I like to imagine that it was only over time that the TARDIS became much bigger than it is. For the most of the 60s, there's like some bed units and a wardrobe, and that's about it, and the food machine. I like to think that as the show went on, the TARDIS got bigger around its, and almost like it moulds around its occupant to reflect them. So it starts out as just the basic 60s control room, but if a Time Lord spends long enough in there, it kind of adapts around their personality.
I like that idea.
And the Doctor's nuts, so it turns into this huge labyrinth type place, also based on how many places the TARDIS goes to.
I agree. I like that idea. I really like it. I never thought about it like that. Also, the TV series has never successfully shown what the kind of hugeness of the TARDIS.
Yeah.
Like, even in the new series, it's scuppered by budget when you see more of it. Like, in the journey into the centre of the TARDIS.
Yeah.
It's some corridors and a few odd rooms.
I did like the Eye of Harmony in that.
Yeah, I did as well. And then in the TV movie, it's 2 massive rooms, and then you get like the Invasion of Time, where it's an old hospital.
Yeah.
And it's just a really odd looking thing, and you're just like, that's not the TARDIS. Nobody went, we could just put some roundels on the wall or something like that, just to try and make it slightly more TARDIS-y. It's like, no, it's just this room. It's got windows.
Yeah. Swimming pool.
The swimming pool featured several times. Famously, watching that Sontaran trip over a deck chair is one of the highlights of that story.
Yeah.
But we digress. One of my favourite stories that they do here is called Where Diamonds Are Worthless.
Yes.
Where the TARDIS lands on a planet where diamonds are worthless. And they go to this planet that's got so many diamonds, the Doctor just goes, well, they're worthless, aren't they? And if they go in the TARDIS, they'll disappear. But how does he know? It feels like he's just pulling a fast one and he's going to nip back later and get all the diamonds for himself. It's like, oh, you can't take them in the TARDIS, they'll disappear. You guys can't get rich. That would probably explain why he's got so much gold dust lying around for Changley in the TV movie.
Yeah.
The Doctor's actually a secret thief. So we get here, the Doctor, Ian and Barbara. I mean, we say the Doctor, Ian and Barbara. Ian's named 6 stories in, and Barbara is never named during the thing. She's a siphon for peril. Yeah. She gets caught up in a giant spider web menaced by...
Women didn't have names until 1978.
It's true, women's lib, wasn't it? And Terence Dix was furious. They've obviously identified what Doctor Who writers identified in the series, that 4 companions is just too much to write for, so they've just fucked Susan off. This gun, she's the least interesting, which is true. Out of that early TARDIS team, she is the least interesting one there.
Well, it's obviously set just after the Daleks' invasion and just before the rescue.
Oh my god.
Keep up.
Sorry. They had such a great time during that secret season.
Yeah, now that hormonal bitch is gone. Now we can drink together.
There's quite a few original monsters in it, isn't there? So you've got a giant bird, a giant spider, an Ice Age monster, and a prehistoric monster. You also get another favourite story of mine, Doctor Who meets the Watermen. The Watermen being like Earthmen, but they live underwater. In which the Doctor fixes their spaceship by finding a minor wiring fault, and then the Watermen fuck off. They can build a spaceship, but they don't know how to do basic DIY. It's like the guys in the Silver Giants who can build spaceships but fly around the universe, but they didn't think to take anybody with them that knows how to work the thing.
Yeah, I like how the Daleks are drawn in this. Well, it's odd that, because like they capture, despite it being very pink, Doctor Who looks like Doctor Who.
Yeah.
But in the 60s, they would always draw the Daleks in a much more... They don't just copy photographs.
Yeah.
They turn them into these weird, chunky, like the Rollickin Daleks.
Yeah.
Like they look like toys, which I kind of like.
Yeah.
But it's odd that they just haven't traced a photograph like they would in the future.
Yeah. And the Daleks are pretty bloody stupid in this. They kill some things called Zomites and let the Doctor and co go because they think the Doctor actually killed them. In the defeat of the Daleks get defeated because Ian builds a ray gun. A scientist from a school teacher from Earth.
Go on, Ian. Space lad.
There's another adventure called The Daleks Are Foiled, in which the Daleks are foiled. They try out their Earthmen detector, and the Doctor and co hide in a manhole and instead leave a cat to fend for them, which is pretty ruthless of the Doctor. Just like, we'll put this cat here.
I bet the Dalek that invented that machine was kicking himself after. Just like, should have put the cat setting off.
They also invented, the Daleks use a nerve machine to capture the Doctor, whatever that means, and Ian fiddles with it and saves the Doctor. The Daleks capture an inventor who made a machine that the Daleks wants, and to escape the Daleks, they just throw a jacket over them. It's all very high-end stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
The inventor being the only other human character in this. Not room for many other characters when you've got aliens, such as the prehistoric monsters. It does something really interesting that isn't done in Doctor Who for obvious reason. The dinosaur gets in the TARDIS and they dematerialise, and as it dematerialises, it just becomes extinct.
Yes.
Because it's like, well, that's how the time travel works. But surely they would all age to death every time they took off.
I thought maybe that's the TARDIS's influence.
Interesting.
A bit like the translation circuit.
So the TARDIS saves them.
Maybe.
Interesting. We also get the Zarbi show up again.
Yeah, I don't know why. Why did they think the Zarbi were going to be the next big?
Well, everybody was looking for the new Daleks, weren't they?
Yeah.
And at first it was the Vord, then it was...
You got the War Machines, the Mechanoids.
Yeah, even the Chumberleys. And actually, what they realised by the end of it is it's the Cybermen. I don't think were created to be another Dalek. They just worked.
Yeah.
And so people were like you can't create something as iconic as the Daleks. Really, you can try.
Yeah. Well, after the Cybermen, it took until Blink to get another popular monster that people really, really, really remembered.
I think you're probably right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is difficult for them to kind of recapture that. And also, I think, cynically, in the 60s, everybody saw how much money Terry Nation made, and they went, I want some of that.
Yeah.
So, I think, the thing is, I think the Zarbi would have kind of endured more had they not been so difficult to shoot. It's the same as the Mechanoids. Like, they were supposed to come back and back, but they didn't because they were just too big.
I also can't even see how they would work in, say, 70s Doctor Who.
No.
Without them just staying the same. I don't think you can really get away with it.
I don't think you could even see them with Patrick Troughton. Maybe Troughton's first season, like around the Underwater Menace.
Yeah.
But the show becomes... Even Hartnell's last season as well.
Yeah.
The show becomes too different, and it does become weirdly more hardline sci-fi, I think, whether that's like a logical progression or not. But there isn't really room for giant insects by that point.
Yeah.
And they don't really try it again.
Arachnids in the UK?
Yeah, I mean, and I guess from that point as well, Planet of the Spiders.
Giant crabs.
Yeah, but the Macra didn't really... The clips we've got of the Macra Terror don't make the Macra look great, to be honest.
No.
Like, the best thing they did with the animation was not to do an original, like, not to try and do an honest adaptation of it. And they reimagined them as stalking giant crabs. I mean, they show up and they seem to be kind of an enduring monster at that point, but it's called On the Planet Vortis, and nothing happens. They just appear, some Zarbi are destroyed, and that's about it. They're not the iconic monster that the BBC tries to sell them as.
No.
Have you ever read or listened to the 2 times the Doctor returns to the Web Planet?
No.
So there's a big Finnish audio called Return to the Web Planet.
Yeah.
And then there's that second Doctor book where it's got Victoria dressed up as a Menoptera on the front. I remember enjoying it when I was a 13-year-old boy, but I don't know how it would fare now, because it's the sort of thing that really appeals to like the fan wanky side of your brain. And I just remember the audio being pretty shit. You can get the Web Planet on audio CD to listen to as well. Can you imagine what that sounds like?
I think it's if you want to get the truth out of someone, you just need to force them to listen to that.
Do you have anything else you want to say on the Give a Show projector?
Well, I think it's obviously a product of its time, because now you would just buy a child a projector with which they could project Doctor Who on the big screen. But having said that, I've imagined what it would be like if the Doctor Who Give a Show projector was released in 2020.
He's got us again.
Merry Christmas, Doc. Merry Christmas, Graham. Oh, it's such a relief to have the day off for Crimbo now we don't have to make any more Christmas specials. Hey up, Doc. Mystery present for you. Don't know who sent it. Oh, hello. What's this? It's the Doctor Who Give a Show projector 2020 edition. What's that, Doc? 24 colour slides depicting short-form adventures of the fam in space. Adventures include The Pating from Another World and Revenge of the Cloth Monsters, those fabric fiends from the planet Desolation, an arch nemesis sure to rival the Daleks. What's this one about? I can see myself in it. Oh, that one's called Graham's Results. Something to do with cancer or some malarkey. But why would a time-travelling socialist like myself give a flying fuck about that? Ooh, look at this one. The Famalam versus Kablam Man. Now that's more like it. Oh, and this one is called Doctor Who Am I, in which each of the TARDIS team go around and announce their preferred gender pronouns. And this one, Ryan defeats a creature from another dimension, which is in fact a subtle metaphor for hand-eye coordination. Oh, what a lovely gift. Well then, Merry Christmas, Doc. Merry Christmas, Graham. And a merry non-denominational BBC seasonal holiday to all of you at home.
Brilliant. I think this is the only thing that gives you purpose in life at the moment, isn't it? Trying to think of new Doctor Who skits for you to do.
I think that's the last one I've got in me.
Really? Okay, I think that's fair enough. I mean, that kind of rounds up our festive special, Doctor Who Too Cold for TV, as you said.
Yeah.
Overall, what do you think of 1965's offerings for the Doctor Who extended universe?
It's all very charming. Like, the nostalgia is at its peak, where I can forgive anything. I have to say my favourite was the Christmas Story comic.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. Yeah. And also there is a big degree of craft that went into that kind of merchandise.
Yeah.
Then, like, it's got good artists, less about the writing. But no, it's got a big nostalgic glow.
I think it's quite telling that you see, we know who the artists were, and that artwork is kind of endured.
Yeah.
But we don't know who wrote it, because it was just some jobbing writer for all of these. We don't have a clue who wrote any of them. Some jobbing writer who was just probably churning out hundreds of stories a year for different franchises.
Yeah.
Like for, whether it's Supercar or Star Trek or later
Jerry Anderson.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if you picked up the Jerry Anderson annual 1965 or whatever, and the Lost Ones was in there as well, but with different characters and different kind of, and the same with the Christmas Story.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if you saw that kind of in other comics. But there is like the nostalgia, as you say, kind of. It's weird because it's a time that I'm not necessarily nostalgic for.
Same, yeah,
because I wasn't there.
Yeah,
but it's interesting discovering what the equivalent of Big Finish or the equivalent of a comic strip was back then.
Yeah.
there's a lot of similarities, but it's just a much simpler and more naive time.
Yeah.
Next time, January, I've organised something.
Okay.
I haven't picked the stories.
Okay.
Neither of you. Someone else has.
Is it Uncle Kev?
No, it's not Uncle Kev. We've got a Scottish agenda.
Okay.
Nicola
Sturgeon?
Yes. As you may remember, and as listeners may remember, we went on the Time Lash podcast a few weeks ago to discuss Invaders from Mars and the Dr. Mysterio.
With those cheeky boys.
Well, they're coming to join us on our podcast.
Hey!
And we're going to have a On the Time Lash 2 Hot for TV crossover. And we've got 2 Scottish Doctor Who adventures.
Mm.
We're going to do Medicinal Purposes.
Okay.
The Big Finish audio. Both of them, these are Edinburgh based.
Yeah.
And we're going to do BBV in the Two Minds, which is an audio adventure starring the Rootons. Set in, and it comes right at the tail end of the BBV run, and it's set in Edinburgh as well.
Well, Craig Atua to that.
You wee McClarty. So I'm quite excited to revisit both of those stories, actually.
Yeah.
I remember really liking Medicinal Purposes last time I heard it.
After a year stuck in London, a fictional trip to Scotland sounds quite exotic.
It's the best we can do. So that is going to be our January episode. We've got a couple of other things we're going to do as well. So we're going to do a commentary on Zygon. When being yourself isn't enough, or when being human isn't enough. When being yourself isn't enough. The infamous Bill Baggs video, which stars a Zygon very briefly, and there's also some penises.
That famous Doctor Who monster.
Also coming up, probably in January, I have an episode with Arc Beetle Press, speaking to various writers involved in that, who have just done the Chris Schvey, as it's pronounced, not Quedge, anthology. And they're also doing an anthology launching a new range of stories set in the Probe universe, also BBV related. So I've been chatting to some of their writers and I've got to chop it all together. And there's an episode I've been working on for about 6 months, which features loads of other podcasters, which is Doctor Who podcasters. It's not Stephen Fry.
It's not Guys We Fucked or any of those podcasts.
My dad wrote a porno.
The Guilty Feminist.
There's going to be a special...
Joe Rogan.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Joe Rogan's coming in to talk about downtime. There's a little special episode where I've got various people from all over the world, and by all over the world, I mean England and Australia, to talk about the most expensive Doctor Who spin-off ever made, Downtime. That will be out early next year as well. Mm-hmm. But until then, I've been Dylan.
I've been Jack.
And we are Doctor Who, Too Cold for TV.
I'm gonna spend my Christmas with a Dalek and hug him underneath the mistletoe. And if he's very nice, I'll feed him sugar spice and hang a Christmas stocking from his big left toe. And when we both get up on Christmas morning, I'll kiss him on his chromium-plated head and take him in to say hi to Mum and frighten Daddy out of his bed. Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
Happy Christmas!
Happy Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
To you.
John and Gillian use Doctor Who's magic box to shrink the beast, but are then confronted by the demon magician, who wishes...
What the fuck is this? Stupid programme.
Using the magic box, Doctor Who enlarges a small squirrel... Using the magic box, Doctor Who enlarges a small squirrel... Using the magic box, Doctor Who enlarges a small squirrel into a giant creature.
I'll leave the room.